All right, about to go sprint some hills. Do, probably about 6 sprints, probably 2 or 3 with pretty good intensity. This hill that I'm going on is pretty long, so this won't be like sprint work. Maybe one set will be sprint work, but most of it will be a little backed off, a little lighter, a little slower. But anyway, I'm going to change into these shoes. Right now I have these Ultras on, and I like Ultras quite a bit. But I was sitting here thinking about what shoe to wear, and I was thinking about wearing these guys, but I was like, I don't really want the help up the hill, and this has carbon fiber foot plate. Would give me more help, but I do want the padding. Still newish to sprinting, and if I can just like if I can make it easier to recover from the workout, I think that's a good idea. People always have questions on the shoes. It's got to be the shoes. Fat guy move, just sliding into him. Don't have to even untie him. So the main goal for today will be, I guess I would say, fatigue management. Just making sure I'm not getting too tired. This is not a conditioning workout. This is maybe a little bit more in the realm of just like, I guess, form and technique for today. Because I will get tired because the hill is long, and I intend on kind of running the whole hill. Should probably call it more running than sprinting for today. So this vest has some bounce to it. Great way to learn how to run, in my opinion, would be to purchase something like this, which I think they're just taking pre-orders for it now, but you can hear it click, right? So with kind of each little step, each little pop in the air, just warming up. People want to know how to start running. The best way to start anything is to just start going and start to really learn the movement, learn the activity, and go low and slow. Take her easy. Try to tighten this thing up a little bit here. Oh, that might be loosening. Wrong way. One way I could keep this training in the right state or realm would be to really work on nasal breathing for today. When I was out at the track the other day, I got breathing pretty hard. Watched some of the video back, and I was it wasn't even just that I wasn't nasal breathing. I was purely breathing in and out of the mouth. So that needs to be remedied. We're gonna have to work on that a little bit. So maybe for today, I'll see if I can do most of it, just keeping her in the nose. I would say all of it, but I think it's gonna get challenging. So the way I'm gonna do it today, I'm gonna do 2 really light, easy ones, very slow. Then it'll be 2 kind of medium ones. And maybe that second one of the medium one will be kind of more on the hard side. And then there'll be 2 back off sets, and they'll be done. So it sounds like nothing, it sounds like next to nothing, but you got to keep in mind, I'm new to this. So 6 sets of sprints is like a pretty good amount of work, even though there's only 2 sets in there that have intensity. The distance is important to keep in mind. And I would say that this hill is like 200 or 300 meters or so. The other day when I was at the track, and I was doing those 200s and 400s, that was pretty taxing. The time before that, I sprinted on this hill, and I think I did like maybe about 8 sprints with Angel, and that was a little too much. And so I learned from that day, all right, I need to pull that back a little bit. And what we're looking for is a training response and effect and good strong inputs without a lot of negative. Especially for what I'm about to do, I'm really working on leaning out to an extreme level. And I haven't quite made the full dip down into going to, right around 200 pounds. I'm still around 218. I think this morning I was 216. So still working on that. But in order for me to do that the right way, I want to make sure I'm sending the right signals to my body. So I want stuff to be more explosive and faster, but I'm still learning that. I'm still working on that. So getting myself to a point where it's going to be easier to send the right signals, rather than this long distance stuff, which sends the cascade of negativity to the body, which some people adapt to and they can still manage it and still do okay. But for me, I'm taking the mileage way down. Feels really nice having these things bounce. This innovation by David Weck. This vest has these cartridges in here. Cartridges have batteries like on a spring, and they go up and down. I think so many people think a lot of the stuff I do is like gimmicky or whatever. I love gadgets. I love supplements. I love everything to be slightly different, you know. Even the meat that I eat is different. The steak that I eat is different. I eat certified Piedmontese beef, grass-fed, grass-finished, the leanest cows on the planet, the leanest meat on the planet. Go and look at their steaks. It has, 50 to 75% less fat than most steaks, and it's still tender. When I was powerlifting, it was the same thing. Everything I did was always a little different. Not to be different or novel, but because I thought it was effective and fun. I just think, I saw a video from Tim Tebow the other day, and I'll maybe make a separate video on this too, but I just see so many people, like, I didn't really feel like it today, but here I am doing my squats, and I was just like, it's so lame. It's really, really lame. Just don't do it if you don't want to do it. I didn't want to do it, but I did it. It's like, if you really didn't want to do it, you wouldn't have done it. That's the truth. Like, you liked it enough. You're interested in enough to do it. But what it tells me, when you don't feel like doing something, it means you don't have the energy for it. When you don't feel like doing something, you don't have the energy for it, the enthusiasm. So I think you definitely shouldn't do it. But you should call an audible and do something different. Now, he was doing squats. He could have audibled and did a belt squat, a leg press, walking lunges, drag a sled. He could have done something different. And then I think you just get into this situation where, like, oh, I don't want to do this, but I have to. And then there he is, pushing these weights around for what? I don't even know. I don't know why. I know that people are like, oh, you got to get in the mind. You got to go ahead. Go ahead and do that. But it's going to negatively impact you tomorrow and the next day. You're not going to feel like it again and again and again and again. And it's only going to get worse and worse and worse. Why not make your workouts more fun? You know how rare that would be for me to not want to do a workout? I mean, I can't even really think of a time. There may be a time where I might think of a particular workout and say, I don't really care to do that one, but I'm going to switch it to this other one. That happens, and I do that often. But I always just audible to something different. Keep it new, keep it fresh, keep it different. Don't be afraid to buy some different gadgets and some different things. It's not about being rich, it's about just switching things up here and there. Maybe one day you go for a run and you find a field and you go out and you run barefoot. That doesn't cost you anything. Maybe on another day you go and you wear your shoes that are, made for running. Maybe one day you, maybe you switch things up and you try to go to a beach and run on the beach. Or maybe you go somewhere there's some hills. Or maybe instead of running at all, you throw on a weighted vest and maybe you go on like a hike or something. There's always so many options to switch stuff up. Why would you ever be bored? Just keep switching stuff up. Maybe your workout for the day is that you played some volleyball or some softball in some league that you're in. Switch it up. Find different things to do. Maybe you're pretty tired and you traveled a bunch and you're pretty sore and stiff and stuff. Maybe the only thing you do for the day is get out and do like a 3 to 5 mile walk. Great, because you know what that means? It means the next day you're going to have a little abundance of energy. 12 to 14 pounds. Trying to keep it in the nose. The nose is going to put a governor on my workout for today. It's going to allow me to train in a good heart rate zone. And again, I might use my mouth a little bit here and there for today's workout. Using your mouth is not a bad thing. It's just sometimes you just want to keep your training in a certain zone so you can recover well from it. Recently at my house, I got a rebounder, a trampoline. And I used that the last 2 days. Didn't really give it much thought, but it actually made me pretty sore. Made my calves pretty sore. And I pushed the tank yesterday and I ran 5 miles, I got a little bit more sore from those things than I expected. So that's the reason to keep the governor on today's training. So we did 1 run so far. We're gonna do 6 total. Next one will be just as slow as the last one. There's nothing wrong with like running slow and like precise. Nothing wrong with taking your time. As I used to say with lifting, you're not gonna get thrown in jail for doing the exercise the right way. You're not gonna get thrown in jail for taking your time and saying, hey, you know what? I need to take a quarter off each side. Holy shit, actually, you know what? No, I need to take a plate off each side. Let me actually do a few sets of squats the right way, and then let me proceed. Very rarely have you seen that. In fact, I used to always say the strongest thing I've ever seen happen inside of SuperTraining is when people take the weight off. So don't be afraid to take the weights off. I'm gonna put a preset rest period into this. I'm gonna watch this yellow sign every time, and that way it's the same. Last time I did these, I don't think I rested enough in between the sets. Having incomplete rest turns it into a different workout. It's more of a conditioning workout than a speed or strength workout. When we're training for speed, I would say that fatigue could be the enemy. We don't really want a lot of fatigue. Although when we're done, we should be smoked and not be able to produce the same amounts of force pretty much. But probably to have the best sprinting or best power output, just like with powerlifting, you know, if I did a 5x5 bench with 225 and all 25 reps were nice and clean, and it looked like I could have done another set maybe, or a couple more reps, could have maybe did sets of 6 or 7 the whole time, that's right where you want to be. Which is interesting because people just think like you got to be all hardcore and everything has to be so hard. But no, watch the strong people, you know. A lot of times they'll work with sets of 3, sets of 4, maybe some doubles or singles, but when they do their doubles and singles, they're so easy. They do them so easily. So here we go, you know, we'll try to maybe pump the arms. I'll try to get a lot of head over foot. A lot of what I've been practicing with the rope flow. Try to incorporate that. I'll also try to go to the feet, which is heels out, toes in, heels out, toes in, heels out, and create that whip around the hip capsule. And each time I'll just start the run from this little green thing up here, and here we go. If you have a hill like this that you can run, it takes approximately 90 seconds to 2 minutes. You could jog it twice, or you can walk it once, jog it once, and then run it once, and then go back the other way. Walk it once, jog it once, run it once, jog it once, walk it once. That's your workout. When you go back after you do it a couple times, maybe you can put a little bit more heat on that middle one. You can expand and doing 2 sets, 3 sets, and build it out from there. For those of you that haven't really built a capacity to run, you could do these hills with a vest, without a vest. So you can walk one without the vest, walk one with the vest. You can walk your last one with the vest and walk with more intent and more speed, more purpose. Lots of different ways to scale all this. So this next one, I'm gonna run harder, but I gotta be able to run the same way the whole time. So it won't be much faster than that because I'm getting to like, that's all I got. You might wanna just go a lot shorter distance, 30 yards, 40 yards. And you can literally rest as long as you want in between. Workouts like this work your central nervous system. They are working different energy systems than a lot of us might get in a weight room. Working your explosiveness, working your your creatine, as Andy Triano would call these, like creatine workouts when you're doing like hard sprints. But you can rest as much as you want in between, and you're still gonna burn tremendous amounts of calories, burn tremendous amounts of fat. Your output's gonna be very strong every time. You give yourself that full recovery. I feel great. I feel fully recovered for this next set. And if you need more time, just take more time. It doesn't have to be scientific on your sets. And put your tongue to the roof of your mouth, like you're making a click, like one of those, right? And your teeth slightly separated, and you're breathing in and out of the nose. Take the back of your tongue and try to press that up a little bit, so you can get a little bit of a suction. Right now, I feel just about fully recovered, even though I'm really not. Like, my energy output would tell us otherwise. And even my breathing, you still hear irregular breathing. But for most purposes, I feel good. I'm pretty recovered from that. It's kind of a multiple little hill thing here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish off. I'm going to go down, down, and then come up, up, and then go down that hill, back up, and then finish by running down the hill. So this will be like 6 minutes straight of running, maybe 8 minutes, but it'll be just nice and easy, nice and slow. Just like I taught so many people how to bench, squat, and deadlift, I'm so fired up and excited to teach people about running. The difference being, like, I'm just learning this and then I'm like regurgitating sometimes to you guys. Whereas in powerlifting, it wasn't really regurgitation, it was experience. So it's different, right? But I would say that I can speak to the novice and beginner pretty well, mainly not because of my experience in running, but my experiences in life and my experiences coaching, period. I believe that I can coach any sport, and I believe I can do a good job of it. You know, I coached football in the past, and the reason why I think I can coach a lot of sports is because I'm not talking about high level. I'm talking about, you know, a little bit more moderate. But when you can coach people through just understanding why they need to do certain things, I think that's really important. So, for example, who is myofascial release important for? Any athlete, right? Now I just need to get you to do it. I need to kind of sell you on it. How do I sell you on it? Well, you know, get some of this, get some of that, you know, buy some products, right? Like, there's products I can plug. You find the products, so you go to Walmart, you go to Target, you shop on Amazon, you get the different balls and rubbers and foam rollers and so on. But now I need to teach you, like, how are you going to use that every day? Well, if you go to a sauna, pack that in your gym bag, take that with you to the sauna, and now you can do myofascial release on your hamstring or your calf if the sauna is big enough for you to do that. Or you can simply have a couple of these balls and gadgets and things, maybe set aside in a different room or in your living room next to where you watch TV, and you can have an area where you lay on the ground and you do some myofascial release. You also don't necessarily need any tools. You can simply just start laying on the ground and the floor. If you're a TV watcher or you're messing around on your phone, get down on the floor, and the floor will provide some passive myofascial release for you. So in trying to coach people up on so many different, I get so many people saying they got shin splints, they got shin splints, they got shin splints. The main thing is, like, What are you doing for that? And usually the answer is like nothing. Like I just go and run. You're like, oh, just making the problem worse all the time. If you have access to a cold plunge, you don't have to go in all the way. Just putting your lower legs in there on a daily basis can be really beneficial. If you can figure out some other way to get cold to the lower leg, that's great. Red light therapy can be massively helpful. I use a company called EMR Tech. The products are expensive, but they're also very powerful and they work great. There's a lot of different things you can use. Even just walking. Another freebie is to put your feet up. I do that multiple times a day. I lay down on my couch. I put my feet up on the pillows. Sometimes I'll stack more pillows so that my feet are way up here and my chest's way down here. And that's a freebie. That's something that doesn't really cost anything. You want to get more costly? Buy a pair of Normatec boots. Have those things blow your legs up. You want to double down on that? Get the Normatec boots on and elevate your legs. Now you're really having a party. The other thing I can sell you on is the way that you train. So if you train delicately, diligently, and with precision, what recovery modalities do we need? We need none, because the recovery is built in. You know, some people, when they build their business to have an affiliate program. So it doesn't hurt them to be giving percentages away to athletes to promote their products. So it's built in previously. Other companies don't do that, and so they can't just change and all of a sudden have this affiliate code. It sort of costs them too much and doesn't work out great for them. And so we think about the body and think about, what is this going to cost you? The way that you train could literally cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars in buying BPC 157 peptides, TB500, the Wolverine peptide protocol that you've heard about. Those things aren't free. Those things are expensive, right? And then you're buying a cold plunge, you're buying a sauna, you're buying a red light therapy. I have access to all these things, and it's amazing. But I had to step back too and go, wait a second, I shouldn't even need all this stuff, you know? Athletes in the 70s didn't need this, or in the 60s didn't need this. Why do I need it? And sometimes it's because our inputs are poor, they're not great. Or we didn't take the time to be efficient with the movement. If you have an inefficient squat, you have a sticky squat but a strong squat, you're gonna spend a lot of time recovering from that bitch. So we're gonna touch this tree up here, give it a little pat, and a little rub, and we'll start our jog here. Thank you for giving me some oxygen every day, buddy. Appreciate you. Going this way. So I know it's annoying to listen to me over top of this jiggling, but I'll just finish on this note. If we just go low and slow with a lot of our training, train within our means, and very rarely go to 90, 95, 100%, we don't need to think so much about our recovery. So be careful with your reps, your sets, your duration, your frequency, all of the things involved in volume, including your height. Don't forget about your height. Your weight can be massively important. Someone who's 240 and 5'7" can probably squat way more often than someone that's 140 and 5'9". So keep in mind your body type. And when you account for all these things, you won't have to worry about having every fancy schmancy recovery tool. Those can just be icing on the cake. Keeping everything in the nose might make me slow down a bit. Slowing down might prevent me from wearing out in the feet, calves, shins, knees. Smooth, deliberate, precise inputs over and over and over again. We're not fighting anything. In the nose, out the nose. I can relax so much that I can almost shut off right here and almost let my eyes be heavy and almost close my eyes. That felt good. Cool thing about wearing a weighted vest on like a walk or anything, you can always take it off, curl it, lateral raise it. It kind of depends on how much it weighs and stuff, but no matter what, you still got to carry it. So I think it's kind of neat, kind of fun to add this to your regimen. Weck vest is pretty awesome. You saw at the end there, I was able to kind of get this
longer sort of popping stride run feels really good. Kind of gets you in rhythm with right where you need to kind of pop. You know, running is a lot of whoosh, 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 whoosh. And I know not always best to watch the top dog run because they have very precise and particular reasons why they run certain ways. But you know, you watch Usain Bolt and you can't help but be inspired. And you watch how he does a lot of that in the beginning. Not necessarily a coach thing, I don't think. It's not necessarily an intentional thing, but there is a lot of head over foot going on during that acceleration phase for most athletes. And so it's fun to kind of feel that when you run. And it's felt good for me. It's felt like free energy. Something that speeds me up without trying to speed up. Just goes to show you, like, there's so many different ways to get inputs. I really did 2 kind of hard runs on the hill, and then that last one, which is all really short. Like, we don't need a lot of time for training. I'm really trying to spread my training way out too. So I was going to actually lift for today too, but so much sun right now and really good training input, I'm not going to lift. I'll lift tomorrow. And I don't feel bad about it. I think that's a big problem for people. They feel bad about it. Don't feel bad rearranging your workout. I mean, you should rearrange your workout all the time. If you're newer and you're trying to get in that everyday club, then just exercise every day. But workouts, how many workouts do you need a week? I guess it depends on how you define a workout. I would define a workout by being something that's pretty intense, productive, that is going to cause a change. How many of those do you need in a week? I'd say 2. Probably good. And rather than trying for 5, just try for 2 or 3, because why not make your accuracy better and your precision better? And then make sure that you do something every day. Exercise, walk, go see the sun, go see the moon, go see the ocean, go see the stars. Get your ass outside, get your ass outside, get your ass outside. That's where we need to change our percentage. We don't necessarily need to go to a gym and be inside more than we already are. And figure out a way to go outside. Outside, outside, outside. I think you can make a lot of progress lifting 2 to 3 days a week and then doing something else 2 to 3 days a week. If you only like lifting, I would suggest that you learn to start liking something else too. Cycling, walking, hiking, something. A sport, softball, pickleball, something outdoors. I love this vest, man. I felt really good. I'm really proud of my friend David Weck. Really cool innovation. As I dip with it, as I go down with it, the thing goes down with me, makes a little tiny bit of noise, but as it pops up is when it makes that kind of, that poppy noise there. And that noise is a haptic feedback. You know, like when you go to pay at this grocery store and there's no haptic feedback, you're like, did I pay? You're not sure what happened. And they're like, yeah, I think so. They don't know what happened either, right? But those haptic feedbacks are great. It gives you some of the information that you need. Phone vibrates, or this jiggles or makes a certain sound. Kind of gets you in rhythm with certain things. I took it off too just to get the sun. You know, why not get an extra 8 minutes of sunlight? I'll have to show you guys, but I took one of my EMR tech devices and put it right next to my toilet bowl so that I'm getting some red light periodically when I'm taking a dump. See how it works. You know, I'll report back if there's any real noticeable marked changes, but so far I'm digging it. It's just an extra way to get in. Extra way to get in some red light. Because I know people feel like, I don't have 20 minutes to stand in front of that damn thing. red light again in the sun. These are all, they all have to do with mitochondrial function, and they can help our mitochondria function better, which in the long run can assist and help us to be more efficient at utilizing the energy that we're taking in. Some people even believe that we don't really need nearly the amount of food that we thought, especially when you start to get a lot of sunlight. That's interesting. You know, maybe this 15 times body weight calorie thing for people that exercise, maybe it's a little on the high end. Maybe that's what makes it so challenging to lose weight. What if the information was really like, hey, if you get a lot of sun, you know, it's a catch-22, because you get a lot of sun and you can burn way more calories more efficiently, and that's ultimately, I think, what you were trying to do. I don't think you want to teach your body to burn less calories. I think with like an energy flux, you're trying to teach your body to burn a lot of calories. But I think with burning a lot of energy and burning a lot of calories comes a lot of aging, in my opinion. So even though you might be hungry, getting along with 1,800 calories, maybe that's some of the answer. Maybe that's the healthiest thing to do. I don't know. It makes sense because the smaller people seem to live a lot longer. Bigger, more jacked people, and especially tall people, don't seem to have any luck with longevity. Short and dumpy people. But I think it's because they don't have a lot of muscle, so they're not chewing up as much energy. But anyway, mitochondria and the sunlight and the red light therapy won't necessarily just help you to like burn more calories necessarily, but it's just going to make you more efficient with the energy that you do take in. A lot of people that are heavy have kind of a broken system. And so for some people that are heavy, it's hard for them just to lower calories to all of a sudden start to lose weight. Like their math is a little different from the rest of us because their system's a little messed up, clogged up, inefficient, whatever you want to call it. And the people that are in shape and healthy, it's a little easier for them to switch around their weight, manage their weight. I'm going to keep working on these sprints twice a week. Keep cranking on them. Keep getting better and better and better and better and better. Let me know what you guys would like to see and like to know. Definitely going to be making more videos on running, how to run, and all that good stuff. For now, I'm going to check on out of here. Strength is never weakness, weakness is never strength. Catch you guys later.